Okay.
Sup, dudes?
Injure.
Welcome to another Operator How-To. Today we're taking a look at Team Rainbow's resident Akatsuki member, Vigil. Vigil is a 3-speed, 1-armored Naruto character with the ability to fucking disappear no jutsu. Specifically, the Gadget is a, quote, video disruptor. That means that he can't be seen by drones or by cameras.
He's worth 75. Come on.
I can't think of a nickname for it, sorry.
Incredible how you can see right through me.
People give Vigil shit, and I understand why. Because, from a competitive standpoint, the Gadget isn't amazing. But there's a difference between something not being competitively perfect and viable. Capkin with the sausage isn't competitively perfect, but it's still pretty fucking fun. Vigil is one of these operators. Like the other Korean operator, Dokkaebae, his weapon options are interesting, but I'll get to those in a minute. Vigil's Gadget isn't completely useless. When it works for him, it works pretty well. What I like to do with him is play in rooms adjacent to the objective that are relatively important, and play kinda like a lurker. The floor above that hosts an important hatch, for instance. When people try to drone you out, go ghost, then it'll be difficult for people to get an exact read on where you are, which can let you surprise them easily. The Gadget will do what it's intended to do maybe once or twice in a 2-hour-long session, but when it does, it's quite satisfying and makes you feel like a fucking ninja.
He's a phantom.
The Gadget does not run forever. It's kind of like Kavera's Silent Step in that it runs for a little while, then it recharges until you can run it again. This means you need to be just a tad bit discretionary in the usage of it. Rather than using it at the onset of a round, you're probably better off waiting until a bit further into it, when the drones are going to start coming into the building. What are you really gaining by the enemy not seeing you during the prep phase other than brownie points? Your location is already revealed by that little distortion effect the drones get. That's the only thing. Even if you, quote, deceive a drone, enemies can still call out, "There's a Vigil over here." The point is that they can't tell if you're holding an angle here, here, or here. And they have to search for you, so look up some map guides and look for some good hiding spots. Or hide in the more silly spots and have them rage at you in all chat.
Okay, thanks, die. You.
Alright, let's talk about guns. So Vigil has access to an SMG with average stats all around. Average rate of fire and damage with not too much recoil. It fires just a little bit slower than the Russian Kalash-style SMG. Sometimes the DPS leaves something to be a bit desired, but just point and click and you'll be fine. There's not much here to talk about. It's a solid automatic primary. I like to run it with a red dot sight, foregrip, and flash hider. Now the boss baby is a whole different story. It's an over-under twin-barreled shotgun that fires very, very high-powered slugs. The slugs will usually down people up close with body shots. Too far away and they might leave you with a very hurt but still considerably irritated opponent. It has very high killing potential, but it's a skill cannon and requires precise aim to be used effectively. It's a lot of fun to use though, and it fits Vigil's playstyle pretty well. A good window peek or run out can make the difference in a round. I like to run it with a red dot and an angled grip. There's no particular point in running the foregrip on this thing since you're only going to get 2 shots, and the recoil mitigation that you get isn't really going to help you out that much.
Friendly, last operator standing. Op 4 is securing the
Get to
container.
the goddamn room! Fuck you!
What is going on here? Watch out,
They ceased attempting to secure the container. Op 4, last op standing.
What's probably more intriguing are the secondary weapon options you have. On paper, you should really only use the SMG-12. The SMG-12 is a carbon copy of the SMG-11 with a bigger magazine. That, in and of itself, makes it a pretty good primary weapon. So much so that on Dokkaebae, for instance, where her only meta primary weapon is a DMR, at close quarters, this thing can really do the trick. Is it Dokkaebae, fucking... I don't care. Just shut up. For instance, where her only, quote, meta primary weapon is a DMR, at close quarters this thing can really do the trick. Its DPS is absurdly high, and it's a headshot machine. It's also integrally suppressed. Did someone say ninja? No, seriously, it's actually suppressed. Doesn't sound like other suppressed weapons, but I assure you, it certainly is. You can check out a fellow Siege YouTuber friend of mine, Rogue9, and his little summarization on it in the description, where he breaks down the numbers on the differences between the SMG-12 and the CZ-75. The CZ75 is effective in the right hands, but oh my god, these sights are just so bad. Why? There's also no particular point in putting a suppressor on the CZ, since you have the SMG-12 punching up better DPS numbers with that characteristic to begin with. It does look nice with the Tiger camo though. Impacts are barbed. Depends on what your team is running. If you already have a good deal of barbed wire, impacts can help you pull off kills, and they make a good addition to any roamer or lurker's arsenal. But the wire will always have some usefulness in countering an aggressive team. Experiment and find out what works for you. I like to play the safe option myself and run wire. On a team that already has 3-point defense anchor types, 2 roamers, one of them being a Vigil, they can make it very difficult for the attacking team. Vigil might not be everybody's favorite operator, but I still like him quite a lot, just because he's so fun to play. Just stay true to Vigil's long, complicated, and needlessly wordy backstory. Embrace the weeb, and that's all you really need to know about Virginia.
What do you mean, Virginia?
Thanks for watching. I hope everybody had a merry Litmas. If you liked the video, be sure to share it with your friends, give it a thumbs up. It really does go a long way. The next video, concluding the DLC ops, is going to be on Dokebi, and then we're going to go to Blitz, finally. Until next time, deuces.